I would actually want to start with this beautiful message that you shared with me when you
Mm.
said, "Sir, I have been in the zone of thinking till now about what all you said, and it's truly appreciated. It was a journey of self-realization for all of us." First of all, thank you so much, Vedang. Thank you so much for this
Definitely.
beautiful feedback. You are a fantastic learner,
Okay, sir.
and I saw that, and I saw that, I acknowledged that. But what you did towards the end of the training was really mind blowing.
Mm.
It's very difficult for people to be vulnerable in front of a crowd,
Exactly, sir.
and I saw that shift, and I really appreciate the courage for you to demonstrate your transformation in front of a crowd that like broke the kind of shell that is, it goes invisible, unnoticed sometimes. So yes, Vedant. So I would really love to learn uh, about the journey of self-realization that you experienced and
Definitely.
shared.
Definitely. So, as you said, actually, for I think at least 5 days, I was in that zone only, minimum,
Mm,
after coming back,
mm,
because even though I was like extremely exhausted, I was not even well, and I had to go back to work directly.
mm,
So, even through all that, sir, I was actually thinking about this only. So, my conclusion was that I've always wanted to learn. That has been a fact of my life forever. It's just that when you are learning, sir, if you know about Dunning-Kruger effect, sir, like after a point you think you know everything about that, and then that point is the point where stupid people exist.
mm.
So I believe no matter what, that effect is applicable to us in specific contexts in different scenarios for each one of us, no matter how learned we are or how like sensitive to learning we are. So I was thinking that that realization of I'm the stupid person there, considering कि भाई हाँ ये तूने देखा नहीं था, ये तूने सोचा,
Mm, mm,
that was required. I feel कि once that was given, sir, I was honestly shocked when you said that, Vedang, I'm completely disappointed in you. I actually took a step back. Like there was a physical effect, sir.
mm,
कि,
mm,
like I took a step back. I looked down. I was like, I need to hold myself together, and then I
mm,
like stood. So I thought about all these small details, sir. कि उस
mm,
समय एग्जैक्ट समय पे क्या हुआ था उसी समय,
mm,
and in that specific moment, what all came to my mind, what all should have come to my mind, what all I would have wished to come to my mind, all those things.
mm,
So definitely, sir, I think what happens to me is after this specifically, I've realized is that uh, I am the humble person who has a lot of ego, sir. And as you mentioned in the first day, I am the humble person, and I am the kind person who has a lot of ego, because and I don't take it in a negative sense. I just want it to be a realization. That's all at the back of my
Absolutely.
mind.
Yes.
कि because I think कि एक मेरा वो kindness है जो पहले से था, that gives me that ego boost कि भाई हाँ I can only help this person, or you
Mm,
know that also gives you a certain sense of pride
mm,
कि if this person is suffering, I will listen to them because only I can. So listening
mm,
being a good quality, it suddenly has a double edge now. So
mm,
that kind of thought process I went through, and I realized this. And I connected it from your day one, what you said, to
mm,
the last days teachings, and it all came together very nicely. One other thing was the performance aspect, sir, that you said कि performance हो रहा है तुम्हारा. तो वो
mm,
मुझे पहले दिन भी like the night before when you gave me that
mm,
feedback, I didn't really understand it properly, and it was bugging my mind, and I was like a little bit desperate also to get to know. So that desperation, I think you must have also noticed. You were also very aware of it. So I was
yeah.
aware that you were aware of it. So,
Yeah.
so So in that sense, I realized later on, after I came back, was that key throughout my life, I've seen many of these the competitions where high school students and all these people come prepared for a speeches, sir. And
Mm,
that preparation is to such level that every word, every pause has been prepared for a performance. And
mm,
honestly speaking, it never really resonated with me, all those speeches, because
mm,
even if though they were very impressive on the shallow, I wouldn't say shallow, on the outset at least,
yeah.
I was never happy with those speeches, sir. And one
Mm,
of the truly connecting ones were the speeches where people didn't know what to say next, but it came
mm,
about naturally.
mm,
And again, I realized then that was the reason more where I used to participate in extemper more than these speeches, sir. Where everything, like a topic was given 10 days before, and then you come and prepare. I naturally gravitated against the direction of these competitions. I didn't do it on purpose. I realized why that was the case after all this, after your feedback. And I have to say normally very casually that अगर मुझे उस उधर के उधर बोला गया कुछ टॉपिक पे, तो I have a better chance of giving a good speech rather than I come prepared.
yes.
So yeah, I mean those were my key learnings, I would say.
Most brilliant. Vedang, I always feel there are two sides of a speech or a talk or the one side which we are obsessed about is the speech in itself, is a talk in itself. But the
Yeah.
other side, which is the speaker. So, unless there is a perfect blend of the speaker as well as what is spoken or the
Mm.
talk itself, and I always believe that, if you're sitting in the audience, let's say you are the audience and there is somebody who is performing more than actually delivering the message, then audience can see through your eyes. Audience knows it. And if you are the audience, you wouldn't want just an actor over there performing something. You would want somebody who is an embodiment of his message, who is speaking from what he truly understands and knows and has an experience of. And that's the kind of people you would want to connect with. It's not just about shouting at the top of your voice and I am a speaker kind of thing. Which, and one more thing, if I honestly, if I go back to some of my speeches early on, they were like
Mm.
that. They were like that. And today, if I look back, I wish somebody had told me, somebody had given me this kind of feedback. and
Yes.
and I still remember one of my trainers in one of my train the trainer workshops,
Mm.
when I was the best and everybody was cheering up. It was the same moment that happened between you and me. And
Mm.
there I was on the performing side, and I had my trainer sitting right in front of me, and the hall was packed with more than 100 people, and everybody was looking at. And then I was waiting eagerly for a feedback, and he said exactly the same thing that I gave you as a feedback, and I was taken aback. But
Mm.
if I go back, he is the person I would highly regard in my life, who showed me that smallest gap. I would remember my whole life, because that kind of bridged that gap. And I loved my transformation after that.
Mm.
And I gave him the similar kind of feedbacks after I returned home, because that is what I needed. I just didn't need, somebody cheering me up and not
Mm.
telling me in the face about what's going wrong. How do you think this is going to impact you personally and your professional life and
So
your
it has,
future?
I mean, to be honestly speaking, I can already see the change because I told you that realization is a constant thing which is going to, like, it is now that ego has become super ego, if you understand in psychological terms, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and there, I think there is a filter that has been attached to it, which stops me from getting flown away in the absolute confidence that I carry,
Mm.
and being aware of the situation that I am in, being more grounded. And I think, sir, key that reflects, and in the sense of the professionally, if I have to speak, sir, key even if I'm saying something as a sense, in a sense of my achievement and everything, that grounded persona is seen on the other side, sir. You being grounded about what your achievement is while you are addressing the audience with your achievements, I think
Yes.
that is more important than the achievement itself. And I was the typical bad guy in the family who had destroyed the family name and all these things. And matlab, at one point I was called a liability by my dad. So that was the thing. For me, it was the best moment of my life, being called a liability. He used a specific term, and I was like, "Ki, aisa kyun?" And after that, sir, I really worked hard to listen to my parents first. Not listen in like whatever they say I do, but to
Mm.
listen to them as human beings first, as parents. And I think that actually, allowed me to be uh, a person who thinks himself of a successful person, sir. Because there was
Mm.
no specific achievement as such, but like my family members revered me. They are like, okay, अभी कुछ भी हुआ तो वेदांग से पहले बात करते हैं. Like that is, if that is the feedback that you get from your elders,
Mm.
I think that was a truly amazing moment for my life. But yes, I needed to have a full stop somewhere. So I believe in the power of universe, sir.
Mm.
And it was like just at the right time where I was, this, because I've just started my professional career. It's just been a month, and this speechcraft was in that month, and I perfectly got that full stop when I needed. So it is
Mm.
going to be a huge leverage for me, sir, in the coming years. I can already see it. And career is all about negotiation, sir. So I think from that negotiation aspect, I gained a huge leverage, sir, at speechcraft.
Wow. Thank you so much, for sharing your experience and your feedback, Vedang. And as I said, even during my training, that my vision of life is to create a worldwide community of authentic influencers. And
Yes,
I want to help public speakers, professional speakers realize that what they're doing has an impact on people. And it's upon them to ensure that it has a transformative impact on lives. And they're not just speakers, when you're standing in front of a crowd, and you're just not doing that for your bread and butter. You're just not doing that for your livelihood. You are doing something that millions aren't able to do. And if you are
exactly.
standing in front of a crowd, it takes a huge responsibility to even ensure that you really impact them in a way that shifts their lives and deeply impacts them and helps them be more of themselves. and
Exactly.
and when I saw you, I truly knew, even when I was giving your feedback, and I intentionally wanted to make it that way because I knew that there is a true influencer hidden beneath what you are trying, you are taking that step to go beyond. I appreciate you because it just took, I think less than 10 seconds or 5 seconds after my feedback completed, and you said, "Sir, since you gave your feedback, can I be vulnerable and can I speak something?" You showed in front of the entire crowd that yes, this was there, this was the case, and this is who I am being now, being authentic and being vulnerable in speaking my truth and changing that. This is how change is possible, transformation is possible, even at your level. You were one of the best already, and you demonstrated to everybody that even though you're so good, change still is possible, only
Yes,
when you listen, and listen for the truth and
true.
not just subjectively. Thank you so much, Vedang. You are a
Yes,
great
sir.
learner, and I wish you all great success.
Yes,
And
thank you
you
so
truly are an authentic influencer.
much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
This
so
means a
much,
lot, sir.
Vedang.
Yeah.